Welcome back, friends. You're just in time for the Johnny Brew Show.
What's going on, everybody? My name is John Brookhagen from the Johnny Brew Show, and welcome to Season 3. This weekend's premiere has been outstanding. We have had so much exciting stuff prepared for just January, much less all of Season 3. Gubernatorial candidates, school board members, and some great youth here in our community. I hope you guys caught the episode last night. We had Dr. Fred Simon, gubernatorial candidate for the Republican Party, and we have a lot of appointments with other gubernatorial candidates, so stay tuned. What I need you guys to do is I need you to hit that subscribe button. All right? That's the only thing I'm asking. Well, maybe two things. Tell a friend. But other than that, that's it. Don't send me money. Don't do nothing. Just please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook. And also we have Common Sense Nevada, which is the public square, an ode to the original pamphleteer, Thomas Paine. So, I am really excited to introduce our guest today. I met this guest a few years ago, and she was just a little girl who needed some math help with a wonderful mother. And she came back to Infinity, the Math Institute, and she came back a queen. She is the USOA Teen Nevada winner, and she will be competing in the USOA Teen USA pageant, which is going to be happening right here at the South Point in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I want to tell you guys how wonderful she is, so maybe you can go support or maybe even sponsor this young lady. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce one of my favorite students, friends, and, young ladies, Vasilija Boskovic.
Hello. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I see you sitting here, and I feel like it was only a year ago, but it was actually 2 years ago, that you were just, this little 7th grade girl, tomboy maybe, and now you come back
always,
here.
Yeah.
You look like a princess. I mean, you're so beautiful, so mature, and I'm so proud to feel like I had a part in your evolution into young womanhood.
You definitely did.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, we're looking at your resume, and you look like a 25-year-old model.
I think anyone with the proper hair and makeup could look like a 25-year-old model. But
Me?
Thank you. Yes, you.
Really? Well, maybe you could do my hair and makeup the next time I interview a gubernatorial candidate.
Deal.
So before we get into how we met each other, just tell us a little bit about yourself. You were born in New York City. You like to brag you're a New Yorker.
I'm a New Yorker.
So tell us, what do you remember from New York, and how old were you when you left New York?
So I don't remember a lot, but right after we moved to Serbia. So I'm half Serbian and half Greek, as you probably know. And I'm fluent in Serbian and semi-fluent in Greek and Chinese Mandarin. So I'm not Asian, but I love the culture. I fell in love with the language, the culture, the food, the dances. So I think it's just very important to celebrate your cultural heritage.
Yes.
So we moved to Serbia. I was there for 3 years. I had to meet my family, of course, learn the language.
And how old were you when you moved to Serbia?
I was just 1.
Wow. And how long did you stay in Serbia?
3 years.
So from 1 till 4 or 5 years old?
Yes.
And those are, you don't have a lot of
yeah.
memories, but those are your formative years. Do you remember anything from Serbia? From that time?
I remember a lot. I remember my grandpa, his smile. He was in the Air Force, so he was a pilot.
The Serbian Air Force.
Yes. And he was one of the top in aviation in former Yugoslavia. So he spent more time on air than on land. So actually, I'll go into that a little later, but I'm doing my private pilot license now.
I'm looking at your resume, and I can't believe half the stuff. You do so much, and I'm so impressed. And I wanted to talk about all these great things you're doing.
Thank you.
And I see them here, But I also see twice as many. I'm like, you're a peer counselor, you're a peer judge or jury, and we're going to get into that. You know, you're folk dancing. You're in two different ethnic dance troupes, Serbian and what was the other
Greek.
one? And Greek dance troupes. You're singing. I know that you're a little shy with your singing, but I know you can sing. You speak like 3 languages fluently and 5 languages altogether.
Thank you.
So let's move on. So at 5 years old, you left Serbia.
I had my 5th birthday here in Las Vegas. So we came, I think it was 2 months we were here, and I had my 5th birthday.
And you guys got to understand, when she says 5th birthday, we're not talking about 1985. We're talking about, what, 8 years ago? 10 years ago?
Yeah, I was born 2006, so year of the dog.
She was born in 2006. Wow. I didn't even realize we got to 2006 yet. All right, so you came to Vegas in 2011.
Yes.
When you were about 5 years old, give or take.
2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I loved it. My mom, she told me in Serbia there's a word called kocka. So that is like a cube, but it also means gambling. So she told me, we were walking around the strip, and she said, you know, Vasilja, this is all made from kocka, which she's talking about gambling. But we were unironically right next to the pyramid, and I was saying, no, that's a triangle. And I learned a very important lesson about gambling and about how people would do anything for your money. So you always have to be vigilant. But also Las Vegas, it's a very family-oriented country to popular belief. And that's what I would like people to resonate with them, because they think, oh, you live in Vegas. Oh, you're in pageants. And you have to fit the certain criteria. But really, it's for everyone. And I would like to share that.
You're amazing. And I'm sitting here, I have this outline, so I want to be able to exhibit to you guys what I see in Vasilja and how grounded and intelligent she is. And I don't have to do any of these things. Anything you speak of, your vocabulary, your decorum, your posture. Did you ever see Kramer when he was coaching a pageant queen?
No.
And he kept saying, poise!
That reminds me, my mom always says, ispravi se. And she doesn't use that, that's mostly Italian, but she goes, ispravi se. And that's in Serbian, it means straight up. So ever since I was little, I have it ingrained in my head.
Well, you're making me feel bad. I know you guys who watch the Johnny Brew Show are probably saying, I didn't realize Johnny was so tall because he used to me sitting like this. But I got Vasilja over here, and it makes me, if I have you on more often, maybe I'll have better posture.
Oh,
So, and
so
you know what I gathered from this is we're going to talk about this in a second, but, you are taking geometry and you're acing it. And you like to give me some credit, and I love to take the credit, even though I always tell people, all I do is motivate these kids to work harder, and then they work harder, they study, they learn it, and then I get the credit. But that's besides the point.
But you deserve it.
My point is you recognize the difference between a cube and a triangular pyramid.
At age 5.
At age 5. So we knew, you must have known right away you were going to be a geometry whiz.
I love geometry. I don't know what it's about it, but from day one, I just got it. It spoke to me.
Right. And I don't know if you remember, but I told you, people would say, oh, there's math people and not math people. And I explained, no, there's algebraic people and geometric people. And that's why sometimes some children struggle when they're coming up and learning pre-algebra and algebra, and then they get into geometry and they love it so much more because it's more visual, 3D space and stuff like that, like an interior designer, as opposed to an engineer who would be more algebraic. So
I like algebra, I love math, but geometry, it's something that I could do for the rest of my life.
Well, I mean, you do know. Oh, well, all right. So before we get into the details, because I know we could just go right into all these stories so well, but I wanted to share with you guys how I remember Vasilja. I actually have a video of the first day we ever met. And it's, and I look at, we played in the lobby, and I know that you're proud of it, and I know I'm proud of it. So I just want to show a little clip of the first day I met Vasilja. Again, I don't know if it was 6th grade or 7th grade.
The before and after.
Yeah, the cute little tomboy with the great energy. And why don't you play a tape?
just like squares will be cubes. In case you're not 100% sure what they may be, we have Vasilja, our newest student, to introduce us.
Cubes are the numbers multiplied by themselves 3 times. For example, y cubed is y times y times y. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which equals 27.
Thank you very much, Vasilja.
I mean, do you remember that day? Coming to Friday fun night, and we have some other pictures. Do you have any other pictures of Vasilja here at game nights? We used to play a lot of Connect 4 and chess and poker.
Actually, I learned how to play chess and poker here.
Really?
I'll never forget.
And have you continued to play a little bit?
Chess, yes. Poker, maybe not.
Yeah.
I'm all around it, living in Vegas, so it's not really my cup of tea.
And I wasn't teaching you how to play poker in order to go gamble. I was teaching you to play poker in order to be decision making. Because that's all poker is, as well as Connect 4. You got any clips? All right, we're going to be showing some clips of you, your early years here and, playing chess and playing poker and stuff like that and meeting a lot of great people. What did you, if you don't mind me plugging my business a little bit, what's your favorite thing about Infinity the Math Institute?
I think just the atmosphere here. So Adriana, Mr. Brew, they've been such wonderful people, and really we're like a family. So we might not see each other, and like Mr. Brew mentioned, like I didn't come for maybe a year, we didn't see each other, or maybe even more. But I walked back in, and they embraced me. They welcomed me with open arms, and it's like no time has passed, not even a second. We saw each other just yesterday, and now we're seeing each other again. And it's that bond, the family that you create that lasts forever. So thank you. I really appreciate that.
Something changed.
No.
Something changed. Yeah, I think it's your headwear and your sash.
Well, maybe some things, but that's on the outside.
And that's 100% true, because you haven't changed at all. I mean, like I said, you left a tomboy, you came back a beauty queen, and you are the same exact wonderful, enthusiastic, intelligent young lady that I saw 6 months earlier.
I mean, I will never mind wearing sweatpants and going to train or work out, but of course.
Well, now that you've been named USOA Teen Nevada, are you unable to do that? Do you have to have this persona? Do you have to represent the crown? Can you go to Walmart in sweatpants?
Of course. So being a pageant queen, it's a lifestyle, really. So it's not just for the year, but it's for the rest of your life, just like I said. And you're leaving a legacy behind. So for me, they're not saying you have to wear a gown to Walmart. And you just be yourself, because people, they tend to change to fit the pageant, but really, if that pageant doesn't fit you, it's not right for you. You're not right for them, it's not right for you, because we're all perfect in our own ways, and I think that's what makes pageantry so incredible. Like, I'm still a tomboy, and also I don't know.
Beauty queen? I'll call you a beauty queen. You feel funny calling yourself a beauty queen?
I don't know, but it's these labels that we put on pageantry and on ourselves, and yet being a tomboy, it's cool, but that doesn't mean you'll never dress up. Like, I play sports, I train every single day, I did my morning exercises today, yet I'll always dress up if I need to, if the
situation warrants
it. The situation is like that, but if not, of course I won't go like this to school. So you have to know where you're going.
Recognize your surroundings.
Yeah, of course, being aware of what you're doing, what's happening around us, and not showing up in a gown at Walmart.
Right, but at the same time, you mentioned, this is a legacy, and it is a full-time job. You don't have to wear your crown and sash to Walmart, but at the same time, you can't punch somebody in the face.
No, of
because
course
you are the reigning, and you will be, even 5 years from now, you will be the 2021 or 2022?
2022.
2022
this
USOA.
stays with you forever, and it's one of those things that you don't take lightly. So yes, you could go, like going back to your Walmart example, you could go to Walmart, but you look presentable. So you're not going to show up somewhere because you never know who's going to take a picture.
Even if you're not Miss
even if you're,
or USOA
even
teen
if you
Nevada.
don't have it, people are going to post it. They're going to tag you. And let's say they see you in a picture that's not too presentable, they're going to get another impression.
And
So
perception is reality.
It is.
If somebody looks at you one way, that is how you are in their eyes, you know?
Exactly.
And I just think that with that responsibility and with that burden, for lack of a better term, and I know, being that I know you, I don't think they could have picked somebody better, because you're not going to go to Walmart and be polite and kind to people because of this.
No.
You're going to be like that because that's who you are. You don't have to play a role, because they're looking for somebody who has morals and who represents the brand. And can you tell me a little bit more about the difference? Because, you know, for example, we have Lisa Song Sutton. I think she was Miss Nevada. And then we also had Katie Williams, who was like a Miss Military USA or something like this. So many different brands and stuff like that. You are, and I know you got to be very careful. I've been reminded a couple of times that I have to say United States of America, Teen Nevada. Then it's very important as not to be confused with something else. Can you tell me about this specific organization? Because I don't know a lot about it, but what little I have heard is it's different from some of the other pageants. For example, under 13, you're not allowed to wear makeup. And other things like that. It's seems to be like a more conservative pageantry. Am I right about that? Can you tell us about the USOA?
So I think all pageants are good in their own ways, but for me, United States of America, it's there to uplift, inspire, and empower women all around us to be themselves. So that's exactly what it does. So a lot of people, they go to a pageant and then they change themselves. Like they don't wear their natural hair, or they change how they look. They go on certain diets. But really, you show up as yourself, and that's how you would win. And that's what the pageant is trying to tell you. So my pageant system, USOA, it has 3 areas of competition. It has interview, which is most important, and it helps you a lot. Like this here, the training that has brought me and led me to this point in my life, it's wonderful. You have formal wear and also fitness. So fitness, it's not to show off your body or to show how fit you are. It's just to have fun.
Right, but that's another thing. You know, you're is it 15 or 14?
I'm 15.
All right, so you're a 15-year-old young lady. You know, with a conservative mom, and of course me. I feel like I want to protect you. You know, I don't want a 15-year-old girl strutting around in a G-string bikini in order to win a pageant.
No. Yeah.
And they're not exploiting you like that.
Exactly.
There's a fitness competition. Maybe you wear some Speedos or something to show that you're in shape.
Leggings. Yeah.
Leggings, exactly. Say, in the 80s, we called them Speedos. So, not Speedos. I meant bicycle shorts.
Bicycle.
You know, they were the leggings that are shorts. Anyway, I misspoke. I didn't mean. I don't want okay. What did I say? The Speedos. Speedos are no good. The bicycle shorts and stuff like that. Where you know, you're an athlete, but we're not exploiting a 15-year-old girl sexually, because that's not what a 15-year-old girl should concern herself with.
Yes.
And I see some of the other pageants may do that, but it seems like the USOA is more about you and you being yourself.
They also have an on-stage question, so you answer. And really, the judges, they're so wonderful. They want to get to know you for who you are. And like I mentioned earlier, not to change yourself. They ask you questions in these interviews just to dig deeper a little bit, to tell them something that's not on their resume, that hasn't been trained, that you didn't memorize. Because if you go and if you memorize all these things to say, they're going to see it. And it's...
In my experience, I've seen, like, when I used to watch the US Miss USA pageant stuff, what would you do to change the world? Oh my God, I think that everybody should be able to eat. We have too much hunger in the world. And that's like every single person's answer. You're telling me that it's not like that. It's
No,
more in
yeah.
depth. It's actually about things that matter to people.
So usually you would talk about every pageant girl. One thing I love, one of the many, is every pageant girl has to have a platform. So what you do in the community, and it all revolves around this one platform and that you're advertising. So my platform is Time, Truth, and You, and it talks about the importance of time management. So we all have the same 24 hours in a day, which I think can be used for three of the most important things: personal growth, advocating for those in need, and I think actually is the most important, being truthful to yourself, because when you do that, you find joy in everything you do. And that's the most important thing in life, being joyful for who you are and what you do in this world.
Well, you keep talking about having gratitude and being joyful and appreciating what's around you and taking joy out of everything you do. I mean, I know you. I know that you don't come from a mansion. You weren't rich growing up. You fought for everything you did. I know your mom. Your mom fights tooth and nail. I mean, it's like your mom has been your life coach 24/7, trying to get what's best for you. And your mom, doesn't have a silver spoon in her mouth, and she's really working hard. And you guys are like a team fighting this thing that we call life. And I know a lot of people that have a lot more than you, that are not as gracious, are not as happy, are not as giving, or worried about promoting the good in the community. How do you, go to school, for example? I know you used to go to Ccsd and stuff like that, and I'm sure around you would see children that have so much more than you, that have so much less gratitude, less appreciation, feels like the world owes them something. And I feel like the world owes you something, and you've never asked for anything. You've never whined about it. You've never been in a bad mood or had a chip on your shoulder. You are so lovely to be around at all times, and I know you got it tougher than others. I mean, can you tell me about that? How do you maintain that? Is it your faith? Is it your mom? What is it that maintains this glow?
It's definitely a combination of both, my faith and also my mom. God plays number one role in my life. So one of my favorite quotes, I'll mention both of them, is when God is in the first place, everything is in the right place. And really, yes, people might have more materialistic things, but I have the utmost love for God and for my mom, and I think with that, anything's possible. But I live by this quote: what you give is yours forever, and the most important thing in life is how much you love and what you do with that love. So that's my motto. That's what I tell myself every day when I get up. And yes, one day I will have a mansion and I'll be a multimillionaire. But really, I know that's going to happen. I'll work hard for it, because when I put my mind on something, I'm getting there.
I'm aware.
But it's important to give back. So what will I do when I have the mansion? What will I do when I have the money? Is it to show off to other people that I have it? No. It's to be able to have the resources to give people that don't have it. So I'll have my own nonprofit organization.
Hey, come on, you steal all my thunder. What we should have done is we should have just turned on the mic, turned on the camera, and let you sit here, because you don't even need it. I'm trying to reel you in because you could just do that. I mean, you want to start a show?
No, it would never beat your show.
She's got all the flippant answers. You can't throw this girl a curve. It would never be as good as you. Where does she come from? This is ridiculous.
I'm a New Yorker.
Yes, you are, an intelligent one at that.
But also Las Vegas. Vegas.
Vegan?
Nevadian.
Nevadan? A Las Vegan? A meat-eating Las Vegan. How about that? Can we say that? A math-eating, math-eating. I got math on the mind.
And we could do math.
A meat-eating, geometry-doing Las Vegan, Nevadan.
Nevada.
Serbian American.
Sure, yes.
Who speaks Mandarin.
And Greek.
All right. Do we have some pictures from Infinity that I could show really quick? Oh, you showed them already? Cool. And then, why don't you tell the people the 3 things I think is most important for an adolescent to work on? Do you remember what they are? I haven't told you for a
I
year.
don't.
Academics, the
Oh.
3 A's.
Academics, athletics, and arts.
Hey! Yes, indeed. So I wanted to, first of all, those are the essentials. If I had to add a number 4, I would add community service. And you tick that box too. So, the first clip I think I got here is you're a black belt Taekwondo artist, is it?
Type of art. So a couple weeks ago, I tested for my 2nd degree black belt and got it. I've been
So you could beat me up too.
No, I would never.
But you could.
It's for defense only.
So if I tried to beat you up, you could beat me up.
I could protect myself.
She's got all the answers. Why don't we take a look at you? What is this we're looking at? Is this a tryout or is this just an exercise?
This is one of the tests where I was doing my form.
Play tape. Jeez. And I'm 6'4". It's looking like those kicks would reach my head without a problem. For those of you who don't know, Vasilja is almost 6 foot herself, and she might not even be done growing.
Yeah, I'm 5'9.5".
Oh, pardon me. It must be those boots. Well, I mean, that's beautiful. This is you. I was watching this training going on outside, and the reason I included this is I feel like your confidence in the choreography, you're spot on. I see other kids looking at other kids, seeing if they're doing the right thing, and you seem so confident in yourself. Then we get into art. This is you exhibiting art. This is a Serbian dance troupe.
Yes, folk dance.
So you got your athletics, you got your art, you got your heritage and your ethnicity. You know, because I'm all about celebrating ethnicity while first and foremost being an American. You know what I mean? You know, I hate terms like Serbian American. I wish you could be an American Serbian because the America first, but still embrace your roots. You know what I mean? And I think this art and dancing is also athletic. What else have we got?
I'm proud to be an American, Serbian, and Greek.
And then we're talking about community service.
Yes.
Here you are. What is this ceremony that we're looking
This is
at?
Clark County Child by Peers program, and that is Judge Sullivan. He
spent time in my law class at the university.
Go ahead. You can talk.
So he came in there and she was the smartest student I had in class.
I don't know if we could hear him. So tell me, what are they giving you right here?
So they're giving me the certification. I'm a certified Clark County Trial by Peers counselor.
Trial by Peers Counselor. Now, I know very little, but I have heard of this before.
Yes, it's a
This-
diversionary program, and in the video, that is Judge Sullivan, and he is a professor at Boyd Law School. So when I was 13 years old, we were in the courtroom. I was a defense attorney, and he was so impressed with my demeanor and how I hold myself that he invited me to participate in some of the classes at Boyd Law School. So of course I went in. That's one of the highlights of my life. I have many, but
You're an 8th grader sitting in on graduate level law courses with the Boyd School of Law at UNLV.
Students. Yeah, I was 7th grade.
Unbelievable. What? I mean, you've accomplished more than most people do in their entire lives. And is this the only community leaders and politicians you've met?
No, so I met Governor Sisolak. I met him a couple years ago when I won my very first title, but it was Las Vegas. It wasn't Nevada. But I also met Mayor Goodman and Mayor Littman from Mesquite.
Wow.
So also, I want to meet everyone.
Yeah, I saw some pictures with Stavros Anthony.
Yes.
I saw some pictures of you with, who was it?
I love Stavros. I've known him for a while now from the Greek church. So
Really?
he was able to introduce me to Mayor Goodman, and I'm forever thankful to him. But I met Mayor Goodman a couple years earlier. And it was at the Greek Independence Day. I went out of school early, and she was there, so I took a picture. So I have a little before and after picture. So there was me with her when I was, I don't know, fifth grade, and then there was me with her from last month.
And then as far as this
I love it.
program that you were doing downtown, and now I don't know if this is the same program or if I'm even on the, correct me if I'm way wrong, but I understood that there was something about, say a 13-year-old homeless kid got in trouble for grabbing a wallet on downtown or something. And they were saying that we're supposed to be judged by a jury of our peers. But a 13-year-old kid who's, pickpocketing wallets can't be judged by his peers because we don't have 13-year-olds on a jury. So, and as far as I think I know, and I think Mac Miller was telling me a little bit about this, and I think I may be wrong that he had something to do with helping with this. He was telling me that that's why they were bringing in, youths with good backgrounds and good morals to act as the peers of these, adolescents who may or may not be in trouble with the law. Am I close?
Yeah, so that is what that video that just played was. That was where we all took an oath in front of a federal judge. So that was after, you see the celebrations, but you don't see the work put into it. So over that summer, the entire summer we spent, and we were going to continuous legal education classes. We were learning about cross-examination, ethics, opening statement, closing statement, rebuttals, etc. And it's such a wonderful program because now I'm able to inspire the youth that have they've taken a wrong step in their life. And
but it's not too late.
It's not too late, and that's what I want everyone to know. It doesn't even matter if you're not a youth, if you're older, it's never too late to change your life. And actually there was one person that I was able to defend. I had 4 trials so far. And
I had 4 trials. You're talking. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just forget who you are. But continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
What happened during your 4 trials, Vasilija, Miss Boskovic?
Miss Boskovic, very professional.
Well, I have to be this way. The way you're speaking, I feel like a slouch. But Miss Boskovic, I'm sorry for interrupting. Please continue.
No. But really, it was so incredible. There was this one person that was so touched by not just me, but everyone in the program there, and they decided to join as well. So I love seeing that I'm able to make a difference because I think that's what I was put on this earth to do, to make a difference and to help people.
Well, I mean, I cannot imagine somebody who's not inspired by what we're seeing from you. So we got your art, we got your athletics, we got your public service. I wanted to talk to you more now and get back to education.
Yes.
You've been to Ccsd. You're now attending Bishop Gorman. My first question is, can you explain the differences between your experience at Ccsd, which, has had problems, which is no secret, this isn't breaking news, and Bishop Gorman, which is quite possibly, if not one of the most respected school here in Clark County. What is the biggest difference you see between being in 7th grade at Ccsd and being in 9th grade at Bishop Gorman?
I think that it's just, I don't mean to say anything that goes against anyone. I would never do that, but I think Bishop Gorman is just so incredible. It's been my dream school since 4th grade, so I'm very lucky to be there. And they handle the problems differently. If you have a serious concern, they will listen to you. You can sit in the office and they will genuinely listen to you, and I think that's one of the most important things.
You're not just a student ID number.
Yes,
exactly. But I also know, again, I hate to reiterate it, but you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth. I thought the rich kids go to Bishop Gorman. Yes. How are you able to take advantage of this?
They do give financial aid, and that's a lot of things that people don't know, that majority of the students there are on financial aid. Whether it's, they also have great sports, as a lot of people know, incredible sports. But really it's thanks to my mom. I have such an incredible mom, as Of course you know.
Well, she's hustled. She's come here. She's made sure you were part of the Infinity family, and we've had 100% success rate. I mean, parents who bring their kids here get the results they're looking for,
Of
and your
course.
mom was vehement about you being
I
here.
like that word.
Vehement. All in. VEHEM. Anyway, and not only that, but I know you were coming back doing your homework that I gave you, which, I mean, like, you were always dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and your mom was getting you into math tutoring because you had a B or maybe a C+. You know, it's not like you were failing, but your mom was like, no, math is important, da-da-da-da-da.
Well, numbers are all around us, so that's the most important. But it's thanks to God and my mom, of course.
Thanks to God and your mom. I think, you know, holy cow. So tell us about the athletics at Bishop Gorman. You're a lacrosse player?
I am.
Besides Taekwondo?
Yes.
Besides dancing? Besides speaking 5 languages? Besides working at City Hall? Besides taking the law classes? Besides being a beauty queen? You also play lacrosse.
I do.
Are you any good at it? You can't be good at it because you're spread so thin.
Actually, so last year it was my very first time playing, and I was training, and I scored the most goals out of the season.
This doesn't make sense. Is there anything that... Please, people need to know that you're human. Share something that you failed at, just so we know that you're... You know, like when... Did you ever see Rocky 4?
Yes.
All right. Everybody felt better. The whole world felt better when Ivan Drago started to bleed. Because we realized he's not a robot.
Yeah.
Have you ever not succeeded at something?
So, of course, there were many times. There's one time in particular with pageantry that has helped me a lot. But the story I want to share with this, if I may.
Please, it's all yours. You have done nothing but impress us. You can talk about anything you want. I'm trying my best.
You're doing wonderful. Thank you.
Vasilija says I'm doing good. I believe it.
But God has really helped me a lot. So it was 6th grade where I tried out for the volleyball team, and I did not make it. I knew I was incredible, but I mean, I don't mean to throw shade or anything, but all the coaches' daughters and the teachers' daughters, they got in. And
I don't mean to throw shade. So she's speaking hip while still being... I'm sorry. I don't mean to throw shade. Please.
But really, I was crying for a week. It was so disheartening to know that there are people that really, they don't have to do anything in this world, and they get what they want. They got on the team, and I was so sad. I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to quit the sports. And my mom, being the wonderful mom she is, she pushed me to join cheerleading. She said, well, you should just try it. And I said, no, cheerleading, like, come on.
Floozies, yeah. Blondes just trying to meet the basketball players.
Exactly. But these are the misconceptions that I'm trying to take out of my head, because really, there's no such thing. So I joined cheerleading, and that was one of the best decisions of my life. That year, we won 1st place nationals, and I was awarded the best dancer of the team.
Of course you are.
But I loved it. It was really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity I'll never forget. And going back on volleyball, I still had my love for volleyball, but I couldn't care less because cheerleading was my thing now. And
just to reiterate, when I said the blonde girls trying to meet the basketball players, that's not what cheerleading is. I mean, it's a sport.
Of course.
And a choreography.
It's a sport. So whoever says it's not a sport, it is. It's a lot of hard work. And of course, me being brunette and tall, that doesn't usually fit, but it did. We were all different on the team, and that's what made it beautiful. So fast forwarding to 8th grade, I was in a new school, and I was the captain of the varsity team volleyball.
Sounds like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got cut from the basketball team. He came back a couple of years later. He's going to the University of North Carolina, becoming the best basketball player ever.
Yes.
And maybe he didn't make the team because the coaches had to get their sons and nephews on the team.
Whatever the reason, it always works out. That's what I try and think. So any hardships that you're going through, it's all going to be perfect in the end.
So you either win or you learn.
and
You
win
never
again.
lose.
Yeah.
Never lose. You never lose. All right. Going forward. First of all, what's going on? We have in February, we have the USOA Teen Nevada Finals for the the USOA Teen USA Finals, because you've already
It's
won the
just
Nevada.
nationals. So
Oh,
USOA
nationals.
nationals.
And where is that? When is that? And how can people support you?
So it's at the South Point, February 16th through the 19th. And 19th is the final show, which happens to be my mom's birthday as well.
How does everything? You must work so hard because I mean, Joe DiMaggio once said, "I find that the harder I work, the luckier I get." And
You see,
I
find-
know you're not that lucky. I know this, but you seem to work so hard to make things work
I think
somehow,
it's-
some way.
It is luck, but it's also God number one. So actually, there are a couple things happening, not just before the nationals. I'm part of Nevada Help Desk, so we're having it's to learn about cybersecurity and ethical hacking, and I love that.
Ethical hacking. What is
Ethical
that?
Hacking. So it's mostly having to do with computers and IT.
Well, I know hacking is that.
Of
I mean, but
course,
what is
but
ethical
I-
hacking? Like you go in and wipe out my credit card debt?
No.
That sounds ethical to me.
Well, maybe not. I'm not at that level yet.
Ah.
So I'm still learning what I like to do about cybersecurity. But there are not enough women in the IT field, and I would like to change that the best I could. And I'm also with that program, Nevada Help Desk. The organization is so wonderful.
What is the Nevada Help Desk?
So they help different students in CCSD to all get together. And these programs that I'm doing, if an adult were to take it, it would cost a couple $1,000s. It's very expensive, but for us it's free. So you go through the program, you apply, you do an interview, you send a video why you want to be there, and they open so many doors for you. Like just last month, I finished my 6-week training at the FBI Academy. So, the FBI Teen Academy.
I can't take it anymore. No, continue. I'm just going to mutter under my breath while you continue to run down your resume.
Oh, you're so funny. No, but really, it's an incredible program, and they're hosting the Martin Luther King Parade, and I have all the dates here. So Friday, actually this Friday is the information, it's the Tech Summit, and that's at City Hall. So they have the entire City Hall, outside, inside, all the rooms, they're taking it over. And there are about 10 different schools coming, and actually everyone's invited.
And this is when you learn your ethical hacking.
This is where I learned
As
it, in
part of-
cybersecurity. They also have digital marketing. You can help and work for Google. Microsoft partners with them.
And when I interrupted you, I'm sorry, you were saying that it's not just for beauty queens. Anybody
No.
can go. Tell
It's
them.
for everyone.
Tell parents what's going on this Friday and if they could send their kids there.
So yeah, Friday is the Information Technology Summit, and it's at City Hall. There are people coming from DC, from all over, flying in. And if you can't make it to that, there's an incredible thing. Monday is the MLK Parade, and I will have a car that was sponsored by Nevada Help Desk. So I'll be sitting in the car, I have my little car magnet that we actually just ordered today. I've never had a car magnet before, but I'll send you pictures if you'd like to come actually. I'm really excited. I love parades, and if you want to go to that. Also, February 6th, I'm part of another organization I just partnered, and it's a wonderful, it's called Tin High. There is no hero and heroine. So it's one of the newest organizations that I found out about, but they help youth that are struggling with addictions. So actually...
So just in the next week, you're going to be getting more women and students involved in cyber technology. You're going to fight racism and go in the Martin Luther King Day parade. You're on a help desk helping CCSD and other students deal with whatever it is they're dealing with. And now what are you doing?
Well, it's actually February 6th, so not
Is
not
what?
this February 7th.
Is what?
It's the tin highs. So
Oh, and now
there's
you're
no
gonna
drug,
help
heroin.
people with their drug addictions too.
Well, it's an annual event, and I'm gonna present 4 awards to the dignitaries on behalf of the organization and of course my title, because I want to support the community in any way possible. So I love my platform, Time, Truth, and You, because it fits under so many different organizations, and it gives me the freedom to work with everyone.
All right. This is what I need from you guys, all right? I'm sorry, and I get a little smitten. I know, my producer's mad at me because I'm not such a professional, because I'm so proud of you, and I know I've known you for years, so that's why
what makes it unique. You can't always be professional.
Okay, good. I could lean back?
Yes.
No, I get in trouble when I lean back. Posture.
Okay,
Posture.
yeah,
Poise.
Ispravi.
But, guys, Vasilja is working hard for herself, because you got to take care of yourself before you help somebody else. She's in the community. She's doing everything she can for women, the community, the at-risk youth. And, you've heard it all. And, again, she wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She's about to join and compete for USOA Teen Nationals.
Yes.
I said it perfect?
Perfect.
Good. And all these other people, I've noticed, have been doing this pageantry and only pageantry. They're not doing the other stuff, the taekwondo, the community service, the straight A's in school, leading scorer in lacrosse. They're just pageant contestants. And they devote their lives to the pageants and the sponsorships and the business of being a beauty queen. Vasilja is simply using her crown as an avenue to accomplish her bigger goals. And the reason why I wanted to frame it like that is because she's not full-time looking for sponsors. And if I'm not mistaken, you don't have as many sponsors as your peers.
Yes.
Guys, I'm begging you, support Vasilja. First of all, she's full of faith. So if you can't afford to sponsor her monetarily, you could pray for her.
Please, prayers are very much appreciated.
You can attend the Nationals at the South Point on February
16th through the 19th.
and you can support her because she's representing Nevada. But the best way you could help Vasilja and her mother continue to promote these values and the good that she's spreading in the community. I'm going to let you tell them. How can we get in touch with you, and how can we, because I know there's sponsorship programs. You could do $5, you could do $5,000, and there's all the increments in between, and you get certain things. You could buy advertising if you're a business. You could just sponsor you as an individual person. I know there's people who are interested in helping you help others. So please tell everybody, how can they get in touch with you? Or if they get in touch with me, what am I going to do in order to have them help you continue what you're doing?
So I do have an Instagram and Facebook account. It's USOA Teen Nevada. So it's the same for both Instagram and Facebook. And I have a Gmail. It's Team Vasilja, which I think it's really cool.
Team Vasilja. Guys, for those of you, if you understand Eastern European a little bit, Vasilja is spelled kind of the way you would assume it's spelled. It's Vasilija.
No. Vasilija. So the J is silent.
Oh, there's no JIA? I've been writing your name for 2.5 years, and it was JIA because Ia.
You wouldn't be the first. It's okay. But J in Serbia is pronounced as Y, so it's a Y sound.
Too bad we don't ever edit. Otherwise, I'd edit me sounding... Oh, is it? So all right, so they could get in touch with you on Instagram or on Facebook in order to try to sponsor you. And what are there
or
any...
with you, if that's okay.
Well, if they were to...
They can get to me.
Yeah, and if they come to me, all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them on to either your mother or you yourself.
That would be perfect, yes.
But what kind of sponsor? Because I noticed, like I said, some sponsorship applications and stuff like that. Is there another way they could do it directly?
So I do, through the Instagram and Facebook you could.
There's a link on there?
There's no link, but of course, like DMs or
Right, so they would have to
message
DM you
me.
and say, hey, I'd like to support you. What can I do?
Or go through the email. I have the applications and everything. It's a pretty simple form. You just fill it out.
So anybody who wants to support, simply reach out to johnnybrewshow@gmail.com, or you could text at 702-501-5304. Or if you want to get in touch with Vasilja directly, which I wouldn't blame you, I'm sure her mom is monitoring it though. You could send an email to team, T-E-A-M, Vasilja, VASILIJA.com.
Yes. At gmail.com.
At gmail.com, the Johnny Brew Show at gmail.com. Look up USOA Team Nevada on Instagram and on Facebook. Even if you're not going to do anything more, throw her a follow so that way, we could build up the hype, because nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. And then we talked about everything leading up to this. Before I let you go, what is your plans for the future? You started to get into it. I cut you off because I wanted to end there. What do you want to be when you grow up, as if you're not growing up already?
I want to be an attorney first and foremost, probably go into maritime law. And I have a goal to go to Boyd Law School because I've been there when I was 13 and I fell in love with it. But besides that, I want to do a lot of things. I'm a very multi-passionate person, as you could probably tell.
No kidding.
But I want to be a model as well on the side, and to own a dog hotel. This is my dream since I was 5 years old. I want to have a dog hotel and a hotel for people in need. So I'm going to pair the dogs with the people because they bring out the best in us. And it's going to be a hotel for terminally ill dogs.
So people who need help, dogs who need help, maybe they can support each other.
Yes, because dogs are a man's best friend. So
And when you say man, you mean human,
everyone.
not necessarily a male.
Actually, this is off topic, but there was one video I saw a lion with a dog, and they were best friends. So really, dogs are everyone's best friend.
Yes, dogs are definitely bringing the best out in people. And is there anything I didn't cover that you'd like to address before I let you go?
No, this was
To save the world. Just give me 5 more minutes, and then Vasilja will be out into the world saving.
to save the world. This is a pretty important thing to do, to make your bed when you get up. So
Every day?
every day. So this actually, it starts the foundation. It's the building blocks of your life, really. So it's the foundation, how you start your day. You make your bed, and you look and you say, wow, I accomplished that. And it's something so small, so minute, yet so powerful, because you come home from a long day, let's say you had a good day or a bad day, and you look and it's still clean, it's still there. So it shows the work that you put in this morning, the extra 1 or 2 minutes you took, is still there, and it helps you to sleep better. Now, it might not give you the most perfect dreams, I'm not promising that, but it is a sense of accomplishment. And then the more you do that, you see that your work, when you put something, it stays there. And whether you don't see it right away, on the long term, you will always be able to see your work.
Yeah, you're good. And I play dumb, but I tell my students the same thing. I might have gotten it from you. I heard a general speaking about it as well. But they talk about building habits. And like, for example, kids who play video games all the time. There's nothing wrong with video games, but it becomes a habit. Are you playing video games?
No.
I could only imagine that you're not. You know what I mean? But you talk to another child who's the same age as you, and they couldn't fathom going through a whole day without playing video games. But then again, you couldn't imagine going a whole day without having your bed made.
Yes.
I mean, these are the priorities, and these are the things that, change how you act in the world.
So actually, on my Instagram, I have a thing called Time Tip Tuesdays, or just Tip Tuesdays. And that's where I share all my tips for better time management, because of course that's my platform.
And is it free?
Of course.
All right, and I don't want you to get political, but I want to tell you guys that the CCSD Board of Trustees is now using taxpayer money because they need to learn time management. Can you help the Board of Trustees with time management?
Of course.
All right, don't even talk anymore about it. I don't want to talk. I'm always talking politics and culture, and I'm trying really hard to stay away from it, but
I appreciate it, but really anything you need, I am here. If you want to reach out, I would love to talk. I've had multiple talks with different groups. There were adults, there were children my age, there were younger children, so really anything. But I think that Taekwondo has really helped me. So my training's there because yes, you learn about defense only, but also how to protect yourself, and when you're striking what time, you have to look, and this is where timing is really important. It's important because time never stops. So this moment, as much as I'll miss it, it'll never come back. And
yes,
it's very important how you hold yourself, your demeanor, your poise, and that's something that I would like to share with everyone.
Are you old enough to run for school board?
No.
All right. Well, I'm hoping. What do you want to do? Would you want to be the mayor? Would you want to be the school board? Would you want to be the governor? What would you want to do?
I want to be an attorney, actress, and
lots of attorneys turn into politicians.
An actress maybe, but also a model to fund my main dream of the hotel.
I would laugh at anybody else and say, you're not going to do all those things, pick one. But with you, there's really, nothing I can do.
It's very important, your inner talk. So what you tell yourself in the morning. Yeah.
I haven't seen you. Well, I've seen you in the past month or so, but we went like 8 months without seeing each other, and it's like you haven't missed a thing. I keep telling my students, you are what your thoughts are. I could be sitting here telling you, make your bed every day, and you could be nodding, and in your head you could be like, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? And I tell the kids, your thoughts, I don't know what you're thinking, and I'm not going to pretend to know when you're lying or when you're just nodding. You are what your thoughts are.
I remember you used to tell me. Yeah, my mom, I heard that first from my mom, but Mr. Brew,
for those of you who don't know, I'm Mr. Brew to Miss Boskovic.
Very professional, but Mr. Brew has helped me tremendously with not only my math, but just myself in general. And my mom, of course, she did a lot of it. But from early age, you always have to look at the inner talk, inner beauty, because that's the most important. And I know you tell your students all these wonderful things. So I haven't been back, and these are peers that I've known for a long time. We always talked with each other, and I love to see that people, they get better, and this is just flourishing now. And I'm very happy for you.
I'm very happy for you, Vasilija. All right, let's finish up with this. We don't usually advertise to kids and students and stuff like that. But having you here, what can you tell children to try to motivate them or to try to get the best out of them? What would be your message to the youth of Las Vegas? Because we got the worst schools, we got gambling all over, we got, the city of sin, and you're like a desert rose, right in the middle. How can other students accomplish or be motivated or be as gracious as you? Give our youth some advice.
So I would find something that you want to do, and I found a lot of things I want to do. I was very lucky with that, but really you just stick with it, because sometimes, most of the time, the world will not be on your side, and it's very sad, but true. It's unfortunate, and sometimes even your school isn't on your side. But that's why you find solace in something that you really like doing. So for me, one of my favorite things was languages, and I didn't mention this, but I've also been learning American Sign Language for 2 years. So actually, this is something that brings me joy, is helping people. That's one of my main things. So ASL, American Sign Language, a couple weeks ago, I had a speaking opportunity to talk with a group of people and to serve dinner to the people that weren't able to have dinner. It was right after Thanksgiving, and this man walks in. His name is Ben, and he only communicates with ASL, American Sign Language. So he was signing, and of course he's thinking no one's going to know what this is, but he's trying to show the flyer and the flyer for free food. And I look at it and I recognize all the signs, and I go up to him and I start signing. And I will never forget his eyes, the way they sparkled in his face when he smiled. And he signed. He said, "You know sign?" I said, "Yes." And it brings me so much joy, not only to be able to use it, because you don't use it that much, but when you do, it's definitely worth all the time you took to learn it.
Well, obviously you're bringing joy.
Yes, I love it. It was
So basically your advice is find a goal. It doesn't even have to be realistic. I want to be president, but find a goal. I want to learn a language. I want to be on the volleyball team. I want to be a beauty queen. And stick to it.
And also, if you get that goal, or if you don't, just remember that you are yourself, and you only have yourself. So what you do with you, oh, that rhymes, what you do with you, is the most important. And really, it's who you are, how you hold yourself, because you're only going to have you for the rest of your life. I'm going to be in this skin for the rest of my life. It's how I...
So if you get cut, you'll be okay?
Of course.
If you get a B, you find some help?
Of course. So it's not the end of the world, these things. So just be yourself. That's it.
All right.
And enjoy being yourself.
Well, Vasilija, thank you so much. You are the first student or non-adult I've ever had on the show. And
I'm honored.
I'm honored that you came back, and I'm unbelievably proud of you. I'm so happy for your mom. And I'm just so, the first thing you did when you got crowned is came back to infinity to inspire the other kids. And, that's just a testament to who you are and what you've done. And, again, we're just super proud of you. And, guys, I hope that you're able to do something for Vasilija, whether it's pray for her, go down and support her at the South Point in February, and even better, maybe make a small or large donation. Reach out to her on Instagram or reach out to me. I'll point you in the right direction. All right, Vasilija, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. It means the world to me. I appreciate it.
All right. Guys, if you love this content, please hit that subscribe button. All right, my name is John Brookhagen, host of the Johnny Brew Show. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Spotify, everywhere you find your podcast. So thank you so much for coming. And guys, we'll be back next week.
Goodbye.